Hi everyone. I have Anja Hauri with me. And Anja has recently attended a course which is now called Write a Book in 3 weeks, which is a book writing course that I have right now. And I must say that Anja has, how shall I put it? Um, pass the test with flying colors when it comes to the course. Okay, so in the course, it is a book challenge, as in a challenge to get clients to finish their book in 3 weeks. And I am very, very proud to share that Anja has not only finished writing, but she got the covers done, formatting done, and pretty much everything was ready to go within 3 weeks. Well, at least the first draft, right? Before she sent out to everybody. Yes. Why don't perhaps I will let Anya introduce herself before we go on a little bit deeper. We want to get lots of juicy stuff from her about her book, about her experience going on the course. But before that, Anya, why don't you go ahead, girl? Go introduce yourself.
So hi everyone. Thank you, Suryati, for this lovely introduction. So for the ones who don't know me, I'm a Swiss citizen. I am working in a corporate job and it's been a dream of mine to write a book. So I've been coming up with this topic a couple of times in my life. And I have this saying that once a certain thing hits you 3 times, right in the face, you got to make a decision to either take it or leave it for your life. And so with the challenge of writing a book in 3 weeks that Suryati approached me, it was the third time charm. And I said, okay, so let's jump on it. And with it, I was able to, as she just said, finalize not just a single book, but actually write it, do the editing and everything, and get ready for publishing.
Mm, wonderful. Yeah, so I think both me and Anya, we're pretty similar in a sense that we believe very strongly in the signs that come to our lives. We do take note, we are aware, we're very much uh privy and just just looking out constantly and of what the signs are that the universe is sending to you. So this is something very interesting that Anya has mentioned, and I think I'd like everyone who's watching this to take this also as a sign. Maybe you are not the one who wants to write a book, but you know someone else who wants to write a book, and maybe you are the intermediary. You are the best messenger. We are all messengers in every sense of the word. That's my true belief. And if let's say you are not the one who wants to write the book, maybe someone else who wants to write the book, take this as a sign that you could be the messenger to the other person. So, Anya, was it really scary when you finally decided to jump in?
Hell yes. If it's not scary enough, it's not big enough, I believe. So yeah, I signed up. And at the same time, I was thinking, well, have I really done the right thing or not? What do I do with this? Who am I to think that I can write a book in 3 weeks?
Mm.
But at the same time, it was very, very clear within me that yes, it is the moment to do it. Yes, it is the right person to facilitate it
Oh.
in you, as well as I need a deadline to work properly. So without having a set deadline, this idea could have gone on for another couple of years or even decades. So that
Exactly.
is what in the end brought me to doing it. And I'm very, very happy I did. It was
Awesome.
worth every cent I invested.
I'm glad to hear that. And it's a very important point that another important point that you raised, and that uh, a book tends to be set in the back burner very often than not. People say, "Oh, I'm gonna write a book." Oh yeah, really? Well, where are you now? And then 6 months later, 1 year later, you're still writing the book. Yeah, I'm still writing the book. Yeah, so because it's not prioritized. However, I'd like everyone to think of a book, especially for you who are about to start a business or already an entrepreneur, that the book is an amazing, amazing marketing tool. Both, whether you are about to start a business or when you are already in a business and you don't have a book, it will put you in a position of authority, and the events around it, it gives a lot of opportunities for you to actually package your book, not just the book itself, but the book actually gives you the opportunity to actually perhaps come up with maybe video tutorials that you could package together. Or from my personal experience, it was the book launch in Singapore that led me to have a TV coverage, in on primetime TV in Singapore. It was on the news. Can you imagine? I was on the news. I never thought that I could be news, but I was. So, so that the book did that for me. Anya, I want to go in deeper into the demons that you talked about just now, the fear and the
Yeah.
hesitation. Tell us more about that.
Well, as you just so clearly stated, yes, demons are coming up. Specifically, for me, I was at the verge of debating, do I become an entrepreneur? Do I open up a side hustle? What do I do apart from my corporate job? And with my free time, how do I want to spend it? I knew that there was a need for certain information due to the fact that I went through life for over 30 years trying to figure this thing out, and I just couldn't find any information about it. And once I figured it out, I'm like, okay, so I was talking to friends and people around in my circle, and I started noticing that there's knowledge that I gained about specifically how you think and how your brain works alongside of just organizational topics is not just bothering me, but a lot of people. And there is a possibility to share that knowledge and make life easier for certain other people. With that in mind, demons obviously came up in the way of showing themselves that I'm not worth it. Who am I to think that I can be an authority in the industry? I don't have any track record. But then I'm very glad that you pointed out to me that every single author and person of authority in an industry had to start somewhere. And you got to make that first step and actually take the leap and start, because otherwise, even in 10 years' time, you're still having the same issue. You don't have anything to show for in a tangible way or anything to leverage a new business off or a new offspring. And with that, you were able to calm my demons down and actually show me that there is a way for me to learn along the way and actually be able to establish and see what I think is out there and can be more helpful to people, which then in itself led to several discoveries in how I might actually not just do a single book, but do a bit of a spin and actually launching my own company.
Exactly. I do have a number of people who are considering the program, but they, just like you, they've not established, not started their business yet. And so it's kind of like a chicken and egg, right? Which one do I put first? Do I wait until I get traction and then I
Yes.
start? Or, I have this right now. Um, Tell me more. What's your take on that?
Well, in my viewpoint, it can be done either way. But I personally was able, through the process of actually writing the book, figuring out more closely and in a much condensed way of what I want to offer, what my business can be and will be, how it needs to be packaged, what kind of a client I want to work with in, day out daily business, what it could look like in regards to the whole branding and everything, as much as what kind of a language I'm using. So therefore, actually just through writing the book, I figured out where I have to market to, where my future clients will be. And the book provides me with a first leg into that industry and those peoples, because it is one leg up of showing that you're not just talking about anything, but you actually have a book that contains your knowledge. Even if you're not yet published by a large publication or anything, but you actually took time out. There is a book with your knowledge that can help you then generating leads and contacts for your actual future business.
So the process gave you clarity
Yes,
and
very
gave
much
you
so.
the language and the words to put it out. I think that's wonderful. I think that's so important, right? And I think when you are when we're starting a business, clarity is key. If you don't
Absolutely.
if we don't have clarity, there's no way we could move forward. And I must say, for a topic like yours, which can be a bit vague, right? Organizational skills, it's not something that we can like catch. And this, if it's like a product, it's like a glass. I'm selling a glass. It's easy. I have a, but something which is a bit more intangible. It's so important for us to put it out there, and craft it in paper form, and someone can see that this is it, this is what I'm talking about. So the book actually can give you a very more a concrete launching pad, if I can say, yeah,
Yes.
for something that you want to do. Tell us about this topic of your book then, because I've already mentioned it's a little yeah. I'm not
So
gonna spill any
then
beans.
here
Go
we
ahead.
go. So the book is called Forget Everything Your Mother Told You About Organizing.
Isn't that the best topic? Even that, like the best title. I'm sorry, I just had to jump in. Everyone who I showed the book, like whenever Anja puts out her title, the cover, people will be like texting me on the side, like, "Wow, this title!" Like just by the title. So that's the number one rule. The title has got to really, really attract and make people jump or get excited.
It
Well
has to
done.
speak to you in the end and your clients. So even if it isn't necessarily what the writer, the author would have spoken to, in my case, it is absolutely me because I've gone through this struggle. And as I said at the beginning, I turned 30 and was just fed up with the process of constantly having to go back and reorganize my flat, my desk, my house, literally anywhere. I had thought, and I used a system I was taught by my mother, by society. I had the picture in my head how societally you have a clean and organized space with nothing lying around or only minimal things, and it's always put away in the spot they need to. It just didn't work for me.
Yeah.
Literally, I kept having organized and I was looking back over my shoulder and felt really good. 3 days later, I was in the biggest mess in my head because I couldn't find a single thing that I cleaned away and organized. And by the next week, it simply looked back to what it had beforehand. And I was going back and back and back again. So I started taking a deeper look at things, and with it, discovered that there are different patterns within each one of us,
Mm.
and that it has a lot to do with how our individual brains are working, how we are thinking, and that there is an underlying pattern that can be acknowledged that allows every single one of us to become as organized and societally neat as everyone wishes for, as long as we actually know how we work. And
Is
it's
it a
not that
myth?
difficult.
Is it a myth, Anya? Is it a myth to be organized?
It's not at all, as
Oh my
long as you
God.
get the right system in place. And it doesn't have to be that you're only down to 30 pieces in your house. Not talking about minimalism,
You're throwing out
not at
everything
all.
from the house.
You can have a fully sumptuous house, lots of things, but you can still be organized. You can still have your time back and not needing to search for things or scramble through your house when someone is calling you that they're coming over in 10 minutes.
That's me. You just described me. Scrambling. When I have 5 minutes, when people will be driving in to the house, I have like literally 3 minutes before they come in and walk around. And that's when,
Yeah, I hear you, sister. I hear you. I've been there, I've done it. There are ways other than that. And
yeah,
it has all to do and comes back down to how you think and how your brain is working and
okay.
what speaks most to you personally.
Mm-hmm.
And through the process of writing the book, I was actually able to go deeper on what exactly it is that I want to focus on and what clients it is about. And I was losing the pain or the fear that possibly just focusing on a small portion wouldn't be enough and wouldn't provide enough. It's more than enough to start with a single portion of clients, a very tangible part of people.
Who are we talking about here? Which is what is this group that you're talking about?
I personally talk about males between the age of 25 and about 50. They are, most of them have been very successful and hardworking. They're very successful in the eye of society, having families at home, working all together, having a corporate job or their own businesses, but they still feel scrambled and have to go through every single thing now and then, not finding what they're looking for because it's not been set up in the way that they think, but that they have been brought up by their mothers, being taught by society, you have to do business in this way.
Right.
Processes need to be done this way. Being quite simple, having a coffee cupboard and your coffee pods are on the other side of the kitchen because they've always been there, but your coffee machine is on the left. Doesn't make any sense. You're losing valuable time. Just place them together.
So are you going to be helping them organize their homes or offices, or what will you be helping them with?
Literally organizing their life and getting their life back in more balance and to more fulfillment, which can be reached through organizing the processes and their daily activities in a way that saves them time, reduces the stress level of trying to find things, as much as taking, in a business sense, in the business processes, looking at single individual objects like trying to write an invoice and not having to take that file into your hands 3 different times, but a single time, because you have all information set in the right proportion at the right spot on your desk, be it a virtual desk or a physical desk. And with that in itself, you will reach more balance and you will get more fulfilling time in your life, and it allows you to get back some family time as much as being able to go out and just enjoy life outside of your work.
Efficiency is a goal, really. Efficiency and being able to win back more time. If I can do my work in a shorter amount of time, why not, right? So
exactly.
And what I really like, what you're doing is that you're not making it look like we're gonna go on a boot camp. We're not going on a boot camp to redesign or rewire. No, we are going with what you are naturally born with, your characteristics, your personality. There is a certain kind of traits that explains why we work in a particular way and why we organize a particular way. Yeah,
exactly. So in my one-on-one coachings, yes, I will go through with the individual person to actually analyze and see how they work, how it is working for them right now, how their daily schedule is, and literally then we'll decide on what area to focus on most and first. And within that area, we'll be looking at what patterns are emerging, what are not working with your way, but you've been branded to do it by society because it's always been done this way. It's always been taught that way. So why should I do anything? Because you haven't heard or learned to listen to your personal intuition. And I'll help find them their personal intuition and working with that more balanced feeling that then allows them to not only do it this month, but actually set a system up for themselves for the rest of their life.
Yeah, for life. Your book makes very clear reference to cookie cutters.
Yes.
Yeah, and I love it. By the way, I'm a leaf. So I don't know if you guys want to find out what you are. You got to read the book. Could you just we're not gonna reveal too much, of course, but
So the method that I actually developed is based on my mother's heart-shaped cookie cutter approach. That it came from love and it was meant well, but not a single cookie cutter fits every one of us.
yes.
And within that, I have been able to develop and see that we have four main trades and stipulations that are centered around tree cutters, in my case, being a leaf, a tree, a flower, and a blossom. And it allows you to literally go in and grow and see what is happening in your brain garden,
Mm-hmm.
how you are functioning, which one you are more closely related. And it is very clear that within one part of your life, let's say your work life, you might be more a leaf, but in your personal life, in the way you organize your house or even just your bedroom, might be more in a system of a blossom. But then if you're talking about organizing and traveling, you might be more of a flower.
Wow.
And it is very important to start to recognize your major patterns. Your predominantly, most of us have a primary way of functioning with a supporting one. And those are usually the ones that are just changing percentages depending on the life situation we're talking about.
So you can
But
be
with
a different cookie cutter, and actually it's not the same. So I thought, since I'm a leaf, so I'm like a leaf in all aspects of my life. No.
there are people which are 100% a single cutter. But then again, if you think about a leaf or a tree, we're not talking about a leaf of a specific tree or a specific plant. There are several options of how that would play out. These are general main rules that allow you to then really grow the plant, the flower that you are, and blossom in the way that is most suited to you and gives you the most balance and the most fruitful and fulfilling life you can have.
So if you're curious to know which cookie cutter you are, I'm a leaf. But if you're curious to know, then you have got to read the book. I personally thought the way Anja put it out and specifying the different cookie cutters and which one you are, it's so smart that she does it in the book. These are the kind of stuff that you see probably online where you click, 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 and then it ta-da, you are a leaf, ta-da, you're a flower. But Anja has done it so very cleverly in the book. And I applaud you for that, Anja. I think it's brilliant how you did it, how you put that forth. It makes it very easy for us to understand ourselves, on the onset. In the book,
Very glad to hear that it is of help.
yeah, it makes a lot of sense. When I read it, I was like, it makes a lot of sense. In the book, Anja put out the context in terms of the home, but moving forward, the focus for Anja's consultation is more of the office, for you to be very effective business people, very effective employees. However, like what Anja has just mentioned, once you have a whole of that structure, it will permeate to other parts of your life. So we are not just talking about, trying, I don't want to use the word fix. addressing. Yeah, we're not just addressing one part of your life. Of course, for Anja's consultations, one-on-one coaching, we are looking out for people who want to be more efficient at work. I think that's what we're looking
Yes.
we're looking at right now. And the value of this is that the moment you address and understand how you work, in terms of your business or at your job, that will have impact on other parts of your life. Sounds good. So tell us, where can we get this book?
So quite easily, just type braingarden.coach
Mm-hmm.
and you'll land on my page. You'll see the book straight away with the link to buying it and everything. It's also available on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
So just search it there. Again, it's called Forget Everything Your Mother Told You About Organizing. And just feel free to contact me through info@braingarden.coach. If you're up for and want to know more, you're more than welcome to just get in touch.
Mm-hmm. We will put out some info on this post later on if you want to reach out to Anja. Yes. So to all those who feel like there's something wrong with me because I am so messy, there's something very wrong with me. Please dispel this kind of thoughts. Anja is here to help us. And if, let's say, you think that, oh, organization skills are good to have, like maybe, oh God, you really thought wrong, because not being able to understand how you organize yourself, you're wasting time. You're wasting a lot of time if you don't understand ourselves better. So thank you so much, Anja, for enlightening me of how I think. I definitely want to know a little more how I can be better, because that one, when I read the book, that was more of my home, and you were like so spot on with your description. I definitely want to know how I can address and be more efficient at work, for sure, so that I
For
can.
sure, and we'll get that done
Yes,
anytime soon. I
yes,
know. It's
excellent.
really the cost of you not getting this under the wraps is you losing a lot of energy that you could otherwise be spending with your family, with yourself, on the business you want to do or that you actually have. Being able to just go through it and be willing to just have that is so much more worth than the little investment of time and thinking about it right now. So
This
thank
is
you very much for pushing me there and for setting that challenge with your Write a Book in 3 weeks
yeah.
program. And you've been a great facilitator in nudging the right things out and helping the whole group actually achieving and getting down to not just thinking about writing a book or starting a chapter, but actually getting it done and dusted, and in the end, also out and published. So
Thank you
thank
so
you very
much for
much.
your kind words. Thank you so much, Anja. I wish you all the best, and I'll be nudging you continuously along the way. Yeah, so I'll be
Sounds
more than
good.
happy to do that. Yeah, thank you so much, Anja. All the best, and for those who are interested, go to braingarden.com. And for those who
Dot
are
coach.
sorry, braingarden.coach. Oh wow, okay, I love that. Okay, that's even better to remember, braingarden.coach. And for those who are interested to start writing your book and get your dream going, get started on achieving this dream, if you're interested, you can either go to writeabookin3weeks.com or suryatisupani.com. With that, have a nice day, everybody. Take care. Thank you, Anja.